Okay, so yeah, I cut that last part a little bit short because basically, because Chris was about to speak, but because he's been turned back to his regular form, I wanted to go back and check what his voice was because it's been so long I actually couldn't remember. I went back and checked and it was part 16, Subspace Emissary World's Conquest full reading, part 16, the Hurt Locker, when the subspace bomb hit. When he got turned into his voice suddenly went like this. So I had to go back and see what the original voice was like, because I totally forgot. I might not be able to actually do it justice in its original format, because it has been, I think, probably a couple of months by now. But I'll do my best. This is I think it's part 54, so yeah. Alright. So yes, Pooh has turned Chris back to his original state. Lucario and the others watched on in shock at the turn of events, just as how a speechless Chris stood there stupefied of what took place just now, until he looked down at the floor, being a little farther away from his head. He started to look and feel his body with his hands, with a twitching smile slowly creeping up when he started to believe that it did happen to him. From the spur of the moment, he let go of Pichu's downed body on a patch of grass. My teenage appearance, Chris rejoiced, joining his hands on his chest and hopping on his spot. I got it back. I really got my appearance back. Oh, thank you so much, Pooh. I was fearing trying to explain the change to my parents if they ever found out. Pooh politely bowed in gratitude. Ness and Paula were more shocked to see the teenage Chris than Juff. So Pooh can age up people at will? Ness asked. Paula looked bored at him. No, Ness. He used PSI Healing Alpha to restore Chris's body to his former appearance. Wait a minute, you also have the same ability with you, don't you, Ness? She asked. Huh? Oh yeah, I do have it in my repertoire, Ness said. Chris looked a tad angrily at Ness. Oh shit. You mean I could have been restored to my normal body from the moment we met? He asked in a complaining tone. That's his regular voice, by the way, folks. I've made comments on that twice in 2 episodes. I probably need to, take a break from ragging on the characters so much. It's kind of my natural state of being, I suppose. Hey, I didn't know PSI healing could restore people's bodies like this. Don't you blame me for not knowing that convenient effect. Yeah, convenient. That's not doing it. I'm not phrasing it very, but it's very convenient. It's contrived. It's stupid, but whatever. At least he's not doing that stupid voice anymore. Although I quite enjoyed doing it, though. At ease, you two, Pooh said with all the peace in the world. What I just did was simply me testing a theory out. But I did not know either if the spell could revert him back, but I wanted to give it a try. I am glad I was able to help Chris with his age dilemma. Yes, I'm really grateful you tested that theory out then. By all means, I'm happy you did, Chris said. He looked at the clothes he wore, seemingly having stretched out with his former body shape. Oh no. Lucario smiled. Me too. It should make it easier for him to relax now. You have my gratitude, he told the Delarm boy. I can stop worrying about him fretting over that issue. It's a shame I won't get to see him in his childhood any longer. That's a bit weird. Chris forced a smile to the aura wielder. I also wish you'd been there in my childhood, Lucario. Perhaps you could have stopped my uncle from touching me. It doesn't say that, really. But it's better off this way to keep my parents from really losing their heads. Mom's gonna freak. Me included, he said, earning a happy growl from Lucario. The other children shed glances and chuckled, feeling happy that everything turned out well in the end. It's like a fucking 90s sitcom. Congratulations for a job well done, everyone, said a booming voice that rung in everyone's head and made them yelp heads. They don't share a head, it's not a hive mind, and made them yelp in shock. Please, children, don't be so scared. It is I, Master Hand, Chris and Lucario's bot, communicating to your minds. Oh, it's been a while since we've seen him. That's good. Ness looked up in the sky to find the voice's source, but couldn't do so. Whoa, who are you exactly? He asked as everyone looked up at the sky as well. He literally just told you. Not some entity speaking to you from the skies, that's for sure. No need to angle up your chins to find me, Master Han said. I am communicating to all of you present in the group to congratulate your efforts for driving the Subspace army away from Ness and Friends' universe. Now I can safely put up an anti-subspace barrier to keep those bad guys from interfering with Ness's adventure. Ness, you can rest easy that those baddies will not try to get your head. You can continue with your personal adventure and never worry about them suddenly barricading the way. Well, that's relieving to hear. Yep, it is. As for you, Chris and Lucario, I had some doubts that you weren't going to succeed, but I'm happy you proved me wrong and came out victorious. Recruiting you wasn't a waste, the Han said, sensing the annoyed looks on his subordinates. Now, you two, I'm not undermining your efforts at all, if you say so. You did so well. Wait a minute. Is that Pichu? The group at the valley looked down at the Pokemon on the grass, and Chris gasped and picked him back up on his arms. How the hell did Pichu... You know what? Never mind. This isn't the time to talk about this huge shock I just got sensing his presence next to you all. Chris, Lucario, you have done tremendously well in your first mission, and you have surely unearthed some dark info I want to hear face to face to prepare ourselves for our next battles ahead. Ness, Paula, Juff, and Pooh, you have my gratitude for letting these two assist in your journey, but I am afraid you will have to part ways from them right now. Juff and the others looked sad at the extra two party members. You're going to take them away, but I did get used to having them around, he muttered. I would love for those two to keep helping you, but other places are in dire need of help from the Subspace army. I can't risk the world's falling in disarray just so you children have an easier adventure to solve your personal conflicts. Divide and conquer, as they say. I knew this was going to happen sooner or later when they informed us about the army, Paula said. I wish it could have happened much later. Aww. Touching, really. But these things happen, and we must focus on our personal problems. Just give me a second to open up the portal for these two. Snap! I can't snap my fingers. That word defined the sound it wanted to make, and as soon as the sound echoed in their minds, a growing portal, a growing portal materialized behind the group until it reached a wide size for anyone tall enough in the group to walk through. The children were shocked and amazed at this strange phenomenon appearing out of the blue, though Chris and Lucario were equally as surprised as they were. There we go. It feels so nice to have less restrictions imposed on you to indulge in another universe. All right, you two, say your goodbyes to the children, because I just know you want to leave on a good note. The two world travelers were having some mixed feelings as they looked at that portal swirling in midair. Seeing that portal that would put an end to his adventures in the current world, Chris was reflecting on all that went through in his stay. When he turned around, he saw the children looking a tad depressed to see the two go, and that pulled some emotions in him for having spent enough time with all of them to learn how to do an adventure. I guess this is goodbye for now, you guys. Paula's smile twitched slightly, but she nodded in understanding. It's sad. You have other stuff to do away from this world, while we have our own share of problems. I wish you two good luck in your adventures, she said, wiping a few tears. It was so nice to learn there's more people out there who are looking out for us from far away in our dimensions. We will look out for you, too. Your own existence just proved a lot of unscientific theories scientists in this world create. Just proved a lot of unscientific theories scientists in this world created. You should feel proud to be the living proof of it, Juff said excitedly, until he composed himself and blushed. Yes, I feel sad to see you two go as well. You made my reunion with Ness and Paula easier and more secure. I'm happy that I got to know you two first. Pooh smiled warmly. You have my thanks for assisting us in keeping this world besieged by Gygas safe. I can predict your future endeavors will be full of hardships and more. He closed his eyes. I may have been a little hasty in trying to assist Ness and the others in fighting the enemies you are after. However, I will not forget that making such a decision allowed me to meet both of you. A shame that we could not spend more time together, which we shall do when there is a time of peace soon. Those encouraging words made Chris sniff, and he forgot about the bad stuff that happened to him during that moment of departure. Meeting otherworldly people with special attributes and getting to be friends with them was a huge tear-jerking event for him. His leaking tears were proof about how he made a bond with them all. Thanks.
I don't know how well it'll go for us two from now on. It's so nice to hear you all encouraging us, though.
The team felt conflicted about what dangers there were going to be in store for him if he chose to continue assisting the team with a really abysmal number of members. His kidnapping was a big strike that made it clear to him that even Lucario, the most powerful Lucario he knew, was not enough for security. Oh, that's me. Hello. I believe that's the function of mirrors. But one look at him told Chris that Lucario was never going to let it happen again. They both were rusty in adventuring together, despite the fact that Lucario looked powerful enough to hold his own.
Hey, Chris,
Ness spoke up, reminding Chris he hadn't spoken yet.
Listen, when we were rushing to your rescue back there, I got to thinking. This is your first experience in adventuring, right?
Oh,
yes it is, Chris said. Why do you ask that?
Ellipsis. Ness went over to Chris's side and grabbed him with both hands, his right hand, and grabbed with both hands his right hand, making the teen blink twice.
I've been putting up this tough face since I started this personal struggle to fight Gygas. You see, having PSI powers boosted my ego a lot when I found out I had those powers, and when I found out that the Subspace army was going after my head, I got scared, and remembered how scared I was when that strange alien guy tried to kill me when that fly from the future was with me. You obviously were scared for almost all the time we had to fight the baddies.
Why couldn't we see that? That sounds much more interesting than fucking they rescued Chris from a factory. Oh well. I guess I have to play the game to find out about that. But I'm not going to.